Anyway, had a lot of weather we've been
Maybe
having.
it'll tell you what happened. Doesn't know, but the features.
Alan was telling me about his
There's nothing worth worrying about.
stage or something. Yeah.
All of you coming over today to show your support. We're all in this together. We're fed up musicians being exploited, being mistreated, being taken for granted. We would like to see a change in people's opinions and how basically we're treated as musicians. We would like to get paid now and again for our work instead of having to pay for it. So basically what we're going to do is a few people are going to come up and speak. We're going to have Duncan McMillan, who works at the Roxy and also the Twatham, and he also is the, excuse me for my nerves, owns, is it Big Rock Candy Records. He's a great guy, he's going to say a few words. And we have Jen Hunter, Regional Officer for Musicians Union, Northern Ireland and Scotland. We have John Montgomery, who's representing Capability Scotland. He can tell you about the importance of the charity and musicians working with charity. And then we're going to sing 2 songs, all of us together, and make sure we get a picture in the press, and they'll do their best to spread the word for us. And so thank you again. So I'm going to pass over to Dalton.
We're all here for the same thing, it's to get fairness for musicians, and a lot of the time you can think that there isn't any fairness and there aren't any good venues and there aren't any good promoters. There are out there in Glasgow as well, lots of good places. You don't have to listen to what you get told by the main venues or the promoters that work at certain levels, that this is the only way to do it. It's not, there are other places. And one of the things that we're going to do after this day of protest, which is really a focal point to get people along here today and just to raise awareness about the whole subject. It's not just about pay to play, there's a whole raft of things that go on, and it's always a musician that pays for it. You know, they put a gig on and the venue needs to be paid, the electrician, the sound engineer needs to be paid, quite rightly too, but the cost gets offset towards the musician. So the musician either ends up with very little for their time or nothing. So one of the things that we'll be doing after this is that we're going to be trying to set up a body which is for recommendations. We don't want to start passing laws and things like that, but with recommendations for how to run your gigs properly, what is fair for musicians, and at the end of the day that'll benefit the venue and the overall scene in Scotland as well. Because you want to see busy venues, you want to see bands doing the right thing, playing in the right places, getting seen in the right places as well. So that's really all that we're this, like I say, it's a focal point, and there will be a next stage after this. It doesn't all stop here. Hopefully this will be the start of something that we can get promoters to sign up for, venues to sign up for, and show that they've got a mark of quality as well. But anyway, it's all about singing and stuff today, and thanks again for all that have come along. And Vivian, what's the next thing? We're going to get Jen from the Musicians Union to come up and say a few words as well. So Jen Hurton, please.
Right, the fair play guide that I handed out, the wee pink one, that has been devised by the Musicians Union, and we put it together with promoters. So we consulted promoters in what this says. So if you go by what the guide says and a promoter says that he doesn't agree with it, just remember that promoters were involved in writing that. So it's not just the musicians saying this is what we think and not taking into consideration what promoters think. It's been written with promoters. And this is what we feel to be the fair point of view for these type of gigs, okay? The MU has always been against pay to play. It didn't used to be the case, you know, that you were having to sell tickets and all this kind of thing. It used to be you played a gig and got paid and it was simple. But about 15 years ago it started to creep in, and it's got to the point now where I speak to bands who are doing a Scottish tour and they're just not playing Glasgow because they're just, what's the point, you know? It's a total washout, there's no money in it, so they play everywhere. The other 5 cities in Scotland, and they just avoid Glasgow altogether. So there's a few points that I want people to know about pay to play and what the union wants you to do in terms of what you accept and what you don't accept. The main points to avoid: do not take sole responsibility for promoting a show. You know, we accept that the musicians can help promote the show, put it on your Facebook page, you can help by putting up a few posters, that kind of thing. But you should not have the sole responsibility for promoting the show. Your job is to be on the stage. It's not to promote the show, so the promoter should have to do the promoting. That's what a promoter is supposed to do. Do not agree to a deal that requires you to sell a minimum quantity of tickets. So that means you can say, yeah, I'll try and help shift a couple of tickets for you, but don't agree to sell 50 tickets for a certain price and get yourself into the situation that you're going to have to pay that money even if you've not actually sold the tickets. Okay, so watch out for that one. And also just avoid signing up to any kind of ticket deal that asks you to maybe, say for instance, they want you to sell tickets for £6, but they say to you, but it's okay because you get £1, so you get £1 for every ticket you sell and I get a £5. That's not. You know, it's quite simple math. Just think about it. Think, hang on a minute, I'm getting £1 and you're getting £5. Okay? So the other thing that's really important is for you to speak to other people about it, and especially young musicians, because what feeds this whole thing is young people not knowing any better. Right, so if everyone can be a bit more educated, then it stops. If, you know, what feeds the whole thing is promoters doing it for a year, they get bored, realise there's no money in it and leave, but there's another promoter that follows them in. And then again with the musicians, you make the mistake once, you only make it once and then you move on, you won't do it again. But to avoid anyone making a mistake at all, even once, try and just spread the word about it and make sure people have got a copy of the wee pink booklet with the rules. Okay? So I think that's helpful, and thanks to Vivian and for everyone coming out. It's really important to stand up for what you believe in, and thanks a lot for coming. Cheers. Who's next?
Folks, as I say, hello Glasgow! I'm here, I'm representing the charity side, mainly to say thank you to the musicians who actually approached me to help me in my fundraising. For example, Free in the Park, that's a wee plug for them. Now, I put an ad on the internet saying, any musicians, can you help me? And I could have put on a week's festival because of you guys, right? And you guys are getting out of your own pocket, fuel, transport, food, everything. And it's about time you were also respected for that. So on behalf of Capability Scotland this year, I just want to say a big thank you. And if anyone's only doing anything on the 2nd of June, please come along to Coincide and see you in the park. But the other thing is, it offers an opportunity for the youth, the youngsters coming up. Although we're playing for free, that's my ethos, because it's for charity. It's also given the opportunity to work, to experienced musicians like yourselves, you know, communicate, negotiate, you know, whatever. We are the teachers of the youth, and without them, there would be no music. But the promoters, in the words of Mark Knopfler, money for nothing. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you very much.
We're just going to turn this off now and we'll just all get together and play these tunes.
Julian, come on, don't be shy.
That's number one from the sitting on the top of the brain. One, two. And I want to see sitting on the golden sun, round sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and I'm watching roll away again. You know, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Well, I left my home in Georgia, heading for the Frisco Bay. I have nothing to live for, and nothing gonna come my way. So I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Watching the tide roll away, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. What's wrong, Ben? I can't hear you. Thank you. That's the one. Be afraid, no, I won't.
along, show your support. Please spread the word about general exploitation of musicians. Let's try and get some respect back into the Glasgow music scene, Scottish music scene. Don't let yourselves be used, stand up for yourselves and spread the word. Thank you very much for coming along. Take care.
Steve, your feet.
What